You already know what you need to do. You've known for months, maybe even years, and yet here you are, still not doing it. The question isn't what to change, the question is why does your brain refuse to let you start, even when you want to? It's maddening, isn't it? You set the goal, you understand the logic, you want the outcome, but when it's actually time to do the thing, the workout, the hard conversation, the side project, your brain just goes, yeah, no. You stall, you scroll, you procrastinate, and the weirdest part, you can see yourself doing it. You are watching your own avoidance in real time, and you still can't stop. Every time you try to start something new, your brain does a quick calculation. This looks like work. Work means calories. We might need those calories to fight a tiger later, so let's just start Monday. Or my personal favorite, first let's watch 17 videos about how to start. The problem isn't your discipline, it's something else. And don't beat yourself up. Even one of the smartest person in history did the exact same thing for 20 years. Think about Charles Darwin. We know him as the evolution guy, but for 2 decades he was the procrastination guy. He had the theory of natural selection figured out in 1838. He had the notebooks, he had the proof, he sat on the most revolutionary scientific idea of the modern era, but he did nothing. For 20 years. Why? Because the pain of going public felt unbearable, the fear of being laughed at, being attacked by the church, upsetting the world, it was too much. So he waited and waited until 1858, when he gets a letter from a young naturalist named Alfred Wallace. And Wallace basically says, hey, I just figured out this evolution thing and I'm about to publish it. Darwin read that letter and something flipped. Suddenly, after 20 years of paralysis, Darwin wrote and published On the Origin of Species in just over a year. What changed? The pain. The pain of losing credit for his life's work, the pain of watching someone else get the glory, the pain of realizing that 2 decades of fear would amount to nothing. That pain finally became greater than the pain of going public. And just like that, he moved, not because he suddenly got braver, but because the alternative became unbearable. And this is the part that gets most overlooked. Any effort equals pain, for real. When you start something hard, your brain experiences it as psychological pain. For most of human history, calories were hard to find, so our brains evolved to treat effort like a threat, something to avoid unless absolutely necessary. The association is deep, automatic, and completely irrational today, where most of us have more than enough energy to survive. But our brains don't know this. They still treat every hard thing we try to do as a survival risk. Every time we want to change something, our brains are quietly whispering, don't, it's not worth it, stay comfortable. And that whisper will always win unless the pain of not changing becomes greater than the pain of effort itself. So every change becomes a pain competition, pain of effort now versus pain of staying the same later. And the problem is that the later pain is abstract, future you's problem. And future you is apparently some superhero who loves cold showers, 5 a.m. runs, and has infinite disciplines. I had to bring bad news, but future you is just you, only with less time and more regret. And this explains so much. We spend all this time trying to motivate ourselves with positive visions, the dream body, the better relationship, the fulfilling career. But our brains don't care about our vision board and dreams and wishes. It cares about not hurting. Which means the most powerful changes in our lives probably won't come from imagining how good the future could be. They'll come from the moment we finally can't stand the present anymore. The moment the cost of inaction becomes so clear, so visceral that doing nothing hurts more than doing something. We think change requires courage, and maybe it does, but more often it requires clarity. The clarity to see what staying the same is actually costing you. So, how do you actually do this? How do you make the inaction more painful than action? Here are 3 things that work. First, make the pain of not changing concrete. Not abstract, not someday this might be bad, concrete. Sit down and write it out. What actually gets worse in 1 year if I don't change this? 5 years? 10? Be brutally specific. If you don't train, what happens? Is it just less fit? Or is it blood pressure medication, chronic pain, avoiding mirrors, feeling older than you are? If you don't have that difficult conversation, what happens? Resentment, distance, quiet tension at the dinner table? What are you quietly losing right now? Respect for yourself, momentum, opportunities you pretend you don't want? And then look at the people you love. Who else is paying the price for your hesitation? Your partner, your kids, your team, the version of you that could have existed? You're not trying to scare yourself, you're trying to make the invisible cost visible. Because right now, the pain of staying the same lives in your peripheral vision, just blurry enough to ignore. You want the future regret to feel so visceral and so loud that the small pain of starting today doesn't seem so bad compared to the massive pain of another wasted year. Second, read what you wrote every single day for at least a few months. Why? Because that pain you just created, it will fade fast. By tomorrow, it'll start to disappear. Your brain is excellent at helping you forget uncomfortable truths, so don't let it. Keep that pain of staying the same vivid in your mind's eye. In this way, the daily inactions will stop feeling like taking a break and will start feeling like a slow motion disaster. And third, very important, make the change so small that you almost can't feel the pain of starting. Now that you've increased the pain of doing nothing, you need to lower the pain of doing something. 2 push-ups, not 20. 2 sentences, not 500 words. Just walk into the gym, you don't even have to work out. Make the effort so small that the pain barely registers. Make staying the same hurt more, make starting hurt less. And once that balance shifts, even slightly, you start moving. Not because you suddenly became disciplined, but because doing nothing finally became the more painful option. So that's it. You already knew what you needed to do. Now you know why you haven't done it and how to finally start. The pain is there either way. The only question is, which pain do you choose? The small one now or the massive one later? Your move.